Yes. Let's do this, ladies and gentlemen. How do they say across the border there? Buenos dias. Okay. Singing might not be our strong suit, but you know what? We try our best. We try to
Re, mi,
apply
fa, sol,
ourselves.
la, ti, do.
Jesus Christ.
Do.
Oh, god dang, man. What are we up to today, man? This is absolutely crazy. Good morning, Crypto
Ah,
Warriors. Good morning, Stack Nation.
happy Mondays, champions.
Happy Monday, top of the week,
Yes, sir.
top of the day to you all.
Mm, mm, mm.
Look at that. Do you see who's in here first?
Lord.
Lord says this is going to be hilarious. Well, we'll see. Um, well, let's jump right into this thing today, man. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for rocking with us always. We appreciate you guys tuning in every Monday
Yes, sir.
to hang out with us, chop it, and just
Slice dice.
slice, dice, and make our way towards a Bitcoin standard. Okay. Before we get into it here, first things first, let's take a look at the markets. Okay. Because hey, what else are we gonna do if we do not look at the markets first? I'm actually behind here. Stand by, folks. My apologies. We have to be on coin market cap here. Bitcoin, double O.
Yes, sir.
Thoughts there.
Well, as always, there's nothing. There's no second best. No second best but Bitcoin. That's just what MicroStrategy will say. But Michael Saylor, right?
Hmm.
Just looking at the charts, people want to look at the charts because people always thinking about price. Everybody's chasing yield instead of looking at the freedom aspect.
I mean, I don't think that's a bad thing. I know sometimes people make it seem like chasing yield is.
It's a bad thing.
But isn't the whole purpose of you investing your time and energy into these things is so that you can get some sort of reward?
Yes.
Whether if you're even if you're a Bitcoiner and you're
Yes.
just buying Bitcoin and holdings because you're expecting an outcome, you
Yeah.
cannot just be buying it because it's funs and giggles, I guess.
Yeah. Part of the funs and giggles is your own sovereign money,
This is true.
holding that value though. You don't want the price to go down. But hey, war happens. And of course the Bitcoins are on the exchanges.
Right.
So of course people are trading, and anytime there is war, expect to see a crash in the market. So this is an example of that.
Absolutely.
What I found interesting though is the crash that Ethereum is experiencing because of the so-called flipping that never happened.
Yeah.
So they have a new terminology now, looping or something like that.
What is that?
I don't know, some looping, what they're calling about, like, oh, once we get into the next bull market, it's not gonna be flipping, it's gonna be some other word. Long story short, man, please stop hoping and waiting for your centralized Ethereum to flip in Bitcoin.
Well, listen, I think we've all heard that one, right? We hope something else happens in that arena.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Looking at the Bitcoin price action here, obviously, this is the daily chart. We saw that massive pullback, like you said, after the news of uh, chaos in Israel. Unfortunate situation there. So we saw this massive pullback on Bitcoin down to about $25,166. Actually, we went a bit lower there.
Yeah.
On the what's this actually? Am I actually
No, the
on
day
point
no
with this?
the day is the current red.
Oh yeah, sorry, actually the current
Yeah.
red. That is
Yes.
man.
Yes.
Yeah, so that just be the current red there.
Yep.
And interesting to see what happens. Obviously, I think this is just gonna bounce back, but who is trying to connect to our
That's me. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
I should be using the second profile.
Hey, that's good to see. Interesting stuff there. Before we get into today's topic, ladies and gentlemen, BK Crypto in the house. Shout out to you, sir. Good morning.
Bold, brave, believe. BKCrypto.com.
Oh, that's also from the website.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, support those who support you, man. BK Crypto is one of those people. Please check out their website. Get their merch. It's pretty cool stuff, man.
It's beautiful, don't you think?
Creativity on the horizon.
BBB.
Creativity with no limit. Before we move on with today's topic, Double, I actually have a question for you. And this is for everyone in the chat as well. Just let me know in the chat because I'm wondering. If you roll back in history, you see that there's always been sort of basic skills for men and women, right?
Yep.
I cannot fully speak to the full scope of skills that women need to attain.
Cooking.
I think guys need that too,
Yeah,
you
true
know.
that.
But I guess it also depends on the setting. But here's the point: they've always been basic skills, whether it's hunting, you roll forward, um,
Farming skills.
farming skills, the ability to change a tire, basic maintenance on a car, right?
Yep.
Also, functional strength is one of those things, right? You don't have to be an athlete out here, but having, I guess,
Ability to lift the boobs.
Jesus Christ, we're really going there. Having the ability to be able to, I mean, just the physical strength, right, to carry yourself, right,
To-
and to execute, above average
the
is
strength
always
to lift the tits.
exactly that could be one. That could be. You definitely need that as well. So, but if you roll forward to the modern age, right, the age of
Yeah.
technology, what would you say is something that is critical for as a skill for men to know? I think it will also apply to women, but I'm just referring to men because that's just the brain that I used to think about this at the
Mm.
time when I thought about it.
Yeah, man also means everybody. I think it's ability to self educate is one of the most important things.
Hmm. Okay.
Just pick it up and teach yourself.
So taking initiative,
Yep. Get it done.
pushing yourself to grow.
Yep.
Interesting. I think there's a specific something that needs to be. But you guys let me know in the comments, and I'll mention what it is. I think it should be later on here. So let's jump into this thing here. Okay. Today's topic, as you see it, using tits to sell Bitcoin.
Telling you.
Maybe now let me give a light definition here, right?
Oh,
Because it's the appropriate thing to do in these sort of situations. We went on to Google and we say tits, and here's the definition we got: either of two soft, fleshy, milk secreting
say it again, man.
glandular organs
Say it again.
on the chest.
Say it again. Say it again.
Let me just read the sentence. Well, I don't want to get cancelled, sir. You know what I mean? Do that on your time. You feel me? It's cool. Uh, anyway, either of two fleshy, milk secreting glandular organs on the chest of a woman. Synonyms: boobs, bosoms, breast, knockers. I mean, I feel like that's just adding a Y to tit, which is the same thing, right?
No, it's titties and tits.
It's T's, not TDs. Die in there. Anyway, let's go. Just messing with you, brother. Here's the thing: we went out on Saturday. Okay, Saturday we woke up, beautiful weather, and we said to ourselves, you know what? Let's get out there to the street and see what is really happening with people and their understanding of Bitcoin. Most importantly, their understanding of money. So we went out to the what was it, to the outlets,
Yeah,
right?
nice.
Soliciting activity, as we later on found out from the
The mall complex
yes,
police.
the mall operators,
Yeah.
if you will. During this process, obviously, we learned a couple different things, um, and this is where we now came up with this topic: the
Yes.
difficulty that we faced while trying to talk to people about Bitcoin was something that was unexpected. Double up.
Yeah.
Tell us more about what happened here.
Well, we got out there and we literally started out with the shoppers, the consumers, people out there ready to shop.
Right.
And literally one person after the other. Nobody. They were literally in a rush to spend their money instead of spend the time to learn about money. That was the biggest challenge, was trying to get somebody to give us 2 minutes or 5 minutes of their time to learn about Bitcoin.
Absolutely.
They did not stop. Some of them will not even give you attention. They just flew past you.
Just walk right by.
So we're like, you know
Like
what?
over there.
At some point, you got to start getting them zeros, man. Let's change strategy.
Absolutely.
I ain't got no tits. I was not attractive enough to stop them, put the tits in their face, and say, hey, let me talk to you about money.
Well, so here's the thing, and that is something that I think as a society we probably need to do better. Okay, over time, and listen, this we know that the strategy works. It definitely works. We have seen Red Bull. Do you remember the Red Bull models
Hey, man.
with the Mini Coopers?
When you go to the auto show,
Okay, there's all these situations where they use
models.
yeah, models
Yep.
to entice men, right? Because when you look at
Even
it,
women, too.
Well, when you look at it, for the majority, right,
Yep.
the woman is going to be something that will be, I guess, a weak point for men, if you
Mm-hmm.
will. We see this as applied through marketing throughout. In fact, we know that marketing companies definitely spend a lot of time targeting women in their ads. And a result of that, we know that now women are about 70 to 80% of the consumer
Consumer
based,
base. Yep.
if you will, right? The questions we're asking these people were things that I believe are absolutely critical
Mm-hmm.
to their financial well being. Say, for one, we asked, what is Bitcoin? Or if they've heard of Bitcoin before, how long have they heard of Bitcoin? Some things they have heard about Bitcoin. What is money? And if Bitcoin turned out to be this true form of money that everyone is using,
Mm-hmm.
would they prefer to buy the Bitcoin and hold it themselves, or for the bank to buy the Bitcoin and hold it for them? This is a question around self custody. And no one said they would prefer for the bank to buy these Bitcoins and hold it for them.
Literally, every single person that
Right?
finally responded to us said that they would rather own a Bitcoin than the bank owning the Bitcoin for them.
Exactly. So that makes you wonder if this is the case, right? And it was very obvious that they do not trust the banks, they do not trust the political system, they do not trust the economic system that we are in.
Yep.
Yet, why is it that they're unable to make this connection uh, to their money, right? The money that they're out here trying to spend at that time, which kind of made me wonder what are some better ways that we can make sure that once we go out there to, or for anyone really, trying to push out the word on Bitcoin, what are some more effective ways to be able to reach people without having to throw bosoms in their face?
No, actually, without having to throw $3,000 at the Bitcoin conference.
Yeah, that is another one as well. Yeah, right? Absolutely. I mean, I think in fact, it will be much more effective because here's the thing. I would say, despite the fact that we got so much
Pushbacks.
pushback, right?
Yep.
We believe it was absolutely effective because we actually got people talking, the average person talking about Bitcoin,
Their money,
asking
actually.
themselves
Yep.
what money is,
Yep.
and so on and so forth.
Yep.
If you compare that to a situation like a Bitcoin conference, and we're just using Bitcoin conference as a general sort of thing, it's not,
Bitcoin mates,
yeah,
Bitcoin spaces on Twitter.
exactly. You see that for the most part, it is people who are already aware of Bitcoin, have probably watched a ton of things about Bitcoin, and now they're spending money which they could use to buy more Bitcoin to go listen to people tell them the same thing that
They
they've
already
already
know.
heard on the internet.
Yep.
Seems like a waste to me. However, I believe that if these people would reshape their efforts and direct more energy towards meeting the people where they are.
How about you grow some boobs and you go meet the people where they are?
I mean, if you grow boobs and go meet the people where they will always be. Yeah, yeah. Listen, the power of boobs. Anyway, I think it's important to go meet the people where they are, and I believe that it could be a much more efficient use of time, energy, resources, right? To target the people where they are in their local communities to get people thinking about these things. Think about Jehovah Witness, for example.
Mm,
These people will make sure they come to your door.
and knock.
If you think about the US military, the banks, when they're trying to give you all the student loans, they're sitting right there in your school or that knife company,
Yeah,
right? They're
yeah.
sitting there in the high schools recruiting.
Credit card companies. Y'all know.
Exactly. So it seems to me that it should be sort of a similar thing as well.
Literally. Like Bitcoin is not a company, right? But we're all Bitcoin soldiers in a way, really. So if you
Mm.
really want people to be saved from this current tyranny, what you got to do is literally go out there instead of the money that you're spending on the Bitcoin conference or the people bringing the conferences together. Take that same money,
Yeah.
go out to the shopping malls, go out to the schools, go out to the churches, and do your little boots and educate people that way. And actually, the best way to educate people is use something to attract them. That is why we use the topic. I think if we had been women with tits, people would have stopped to listen to us.
Interesting
Honestly,
one.
it's a fact.
This is the truth. This is the truth. I mean,
On the comments, if you disagree, let me know.
there's a lot of research around this as well. Yeah, so it's just. In fact, there was this one documentary I watched. It was absolutely sinister. I was trying to find it this morning,
Oh,
and it takes you way back to the beginning of all these things, right? And in summary, essentially just explains that there is a small group of men out there, weak men, if you call them that, who have essentially have a strategy to displace the rest of men in society, and then market to women heavily and use those women to target the same men because women are a weak point of
man.
for men, and it just listen, it
It's
goes on
called
and on.
it's called sensationalism,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. Lord, thank you for being here with us. PK Crypto in the house. What's
Boom.
up, brother? We're supposed to have a meeting. I gotta remind you about that. It's gonna be sometime this week. We'll talk about
Okay.
it later. Yeah. Boss up with K in the house. Okay. She says we have got me at the title. Well, listen, hey, we are improving. We're becoming actual YouTubers now. Clickbaiting people, man. Reeling you in with
But
the things you did not expect.
this is the truth though. This is the
It is
truth.
the truth.
Like
It is
every
the truth.
single time I've gone to a car show or I've gone to any of these automotive shows,
Yeah.
right? What makes you stop at the women at the booth? Literally, what makes everybody, even women, stop at the booth to learn about stuff because women are there.
Mm,
It's just weird. So I'm like, all these geeks, like people are not getting Bitcoin. Like everybody that we spoke to during the survey said they've heard about Bitcoin for 6, 7 years, but they've not taken action. They're literally standing by waiting.
absolutely.
And their interpretation of Bitcoin is that Bitcoin could be money. They actually think that Bitcoin is money, which is the funny part.
Yeah, that is the funny part about it too. They did.
But they're all scared and on the sidelines. I'm like, well, maybe if you put some tits in their face, maybe they will say yes and they will start buying Bitcoin.
Absolutely. Um. Well, I see what you're saying there, actually, but I'm gonna come back to that because I think it should not come to doing the tits in the face thing.
What's that restaurant that has a bunch of women with
Yeah, there is Hooters. There is
Uders? Yeah.
yes, but I think listen, I think that if you want to do that, just do it, or if you want to use it as a marketing ploy, that's fine. But
It's marketing, it's business.
for something like Bitcoin,
Yeah.
okay, I think that people have lost their sense of value.
Mm.
Okay, you have to respect your own value enough to recognize that you need to put that in order without having to look at it to put your value in order. You know what I mean? That's like saying that as a man,
Yo.
you need tits in your face to be able to accomplish the things you want in life.
It does. Why do you think you're
No,
pushing hard to make money?
no. I think
Guys on
listen.
the show, talk to us,
Well,
right?
this is my perspective on it.
If you're not hustling for money, what are you hustling for money for?
I see where you're gonna say you're hustling for women. Well, I think that as a man, okay, you should just have enough respect for your own for yourself to hold yourself to a certain standard
Yeah.
and achieve the things that you want. To take things like your own value much more seriously.
They're busy watching NFL and watching all these other sports and
Yeah, it does
distracted.
not put any money in your pocket, right?
Yep.
I think having that financial acumen is something that is one of those skills that I think that men should definitely have. Like I was asking at the beginning of the show, what are some
Hmm.
skills that men should have? The financial acumen is something that they should have.
Yep.
The same way, a lot of men will say, "Well, I need to be the protector of my family, etc., etc."
Hmm.
I think part of protecting your family is having the financial stability,
Yep, for sure.
right? And having that intelligence to maneuver and invest and manage your own value without, uh, I guess, titty in your face. If you will.
See that? You can't even have a family with that hits in your face.
If it was so effective, why don't colleges use it?
Why don't colleges use it?
Actually, never
Colleges
mind.
use it. What are you
Scratch
talking
that.
about?
Scratch that. Scratch that. Let's read some comments. Let's read some comments. Let's
That's
read
why
some.
most people go to college. I'm telling
Incredible.
y'all, man. We have
Listen,
found the strategy, y'all.
Jake Jake even brings up some really good points here, and I would like to dive into this a little bit. He says, "Tell them to learn about Bitcoin, and that's it. I'm just waiting to say I told you so." Listen, brother, there's going to be a lot of people that will tell them I told you so. But at the same time, I also believe that it would be better if all of us are in it so that we have more people to use it with
Yeah,
to make it come to life.
I was watching Big Shots this weekend, and I
Mm,
was like, Bitcoin makes so much sense.
yeah,
Good movie, by the way.
Yeah, I saw it back in the day.
Yeah, I just rewatching it. It's always good to
Yeah,
reconnect.
absolutely. So Jake also says, if you teach people about Bitcoin, they will not give you credit for your help. Well,
Through that.
it is that way, honestly. And to be honest, I don't even need the credit.
So is JK ever saying we should not waste our energy and go out there to try to teach people about Bitcoin? Is that what you're saying? Or should we continue to try to teach people and maybe recruit some tits to help us teach people about Bitcoin?
Well, I'll wait your answer. So in the meantime, I would like to take on this one because I think there's a very good point here, and we've actually experienced this ourselves. So he says he disagrees
Mm-hmm.
with what you were saying earlier there.
Yep.
Says people don't value things that are free and
And
abundant.
abundant.
I actually agree with you there.
True
So
that.
we have experienced that ourselves. Example, the most valuable thing in the room with y'all is oxygen, but you didn't realize it till I said it is because it's abundant and free.
Mm-mm-mm.
Mm.
Preach, preacher.
This guy, man, you should write book. Incredible. Well, I agree with you. Back in the day, we used to do a lot of Zoom meetings
Sure.
where we're teaching
For
people about
free.
Bitcoin, investing, and so on and so forth. What we came to realize from that, again, was the same thing. People did not value it because they did not pay for it.
Yep.
And I think sometimes there's a stigma around charging people for things,
Mm.
right? Because that's just whatever, wherever that came from.
Oh, I got some good news.
What's that?
The Marine is finally on the Bitcoin standard.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, I got her on
Okay.
yesterday.
Oh, you mean the oh? I thought
Yeah,
you meant the U.S.
yeah,
Oh, okay. That's
yeah,
hey man, orange pill activity
yeah,
going on. Let's do
yeah,
it,
yeah.
right? Yeah. So but again, I think there's a stigma behind people charging for stuff. But again, if you're providing value, I think people are also happy
Hmm.
to compensate you amazingly for that, right? So bigger crypto says they're not getting it. The so-called smartest people are not getting it. Very true.
You want to talk about the smartest people? What happened during the interview?
Which one is that?
The difference between the shoppers and the store owners?
Yes, go for it, sir.
Yeah, actually, BK, you made a great point right there. So what we found out during the survey, which we actually did a couple of videos, we're gonna be releasing them this week,
Hmm.
was that the shoppers were such in a hurry to go and spend and swipe that credit card. But then when we switched strategy and started talking to the store owners, almost every store that we walked into was willing for that new perception, for that ideology or that new information.
Yeah,
And they took the time and they listened to us and they discussed with us. Some of them were even willing to accept Bitcoin. They
yeah.
just don't have the configuration yet.
It's a massive difference in mindset, um, and it shows you just a clear delineation between leaders
Mm-hmm.
and people who are followers.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, so it's interesting. Let's look at some comments before we wrap it up here. It says they're not getting it. The smartest people, yeah, smartest people don't get it. I know people who are extremely smart, and they will sit here and tell you things that sound absolutely convincing,
Mm-hmm.
but the very basics of it is that these same people are still getting robbed. Unless the smart people are not feeling inflation or their dollar has not been devalued, I just don't see what they're saying. I don't care if it's Peter Schiff or wherever all these other people are, man. There's a
Like,
basic fact that they cannot get around. They're also getting robbed. Why
yep.
are they allowing that?
Yep. Remember, we also spoke to another person that responded to the survey,
Mm,
and she said she's saving to buy a house, but she knows that she saves, the house is getting more expensive,
mm,
and the value of her money in the bank keeps going down. But she's believing that because her husband has a veteran's loan, that she can get it cheaper. That's the situation. People know that they are being damaged. They're just not taking action.
not taking action.
Yep.
What needs to happen for that action? It seems they're waiting for someone to tell them what to do.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we must all remember at the end of the day, man, the government is really supposed to just be responsible for our security.
Mm-hmm.
So protecting,
Check and balances. That's
right?
all.
Yeah.
You're not responsible for money.
Right. So protecting us from attacks, making sure that infrastructure is there, which they're not even doing that job properly.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The rest of it really, we are all on our own. It is your responsibility to take on these things. I believe that is our responsibility as a society to decide what we're going to use as money. And then if this the leadership uh, crew want to join, great. If not, I guess they can keep hiring IRS agents to show up
Mm-hmm.
to people's houses if that will even work. I don't think that will even work. So failure on their horizon if they do not learn. That's
Mm.
for sure. I think that this one is very interesting here. Sounds like a new coin is developing called Titcoin. Actually, I would not be surprised if it's actually really a Titcoin.
You
Let's
want to
just
look
go
for
on
it?
Coin Market Cap real quick. I'm actually kind of curious about this. Let's see.
Bitcoin
Titcoin right there.
already exists.
Insane.
I was a puppet.
It's probably been rock pulled.
Oh, it's gone. The boobs are gone, yo.
Oh, boob severed, gone. Okay, so there we go. But that
Yeah.
was definitely an interesting one
Yeah,
for sure.
Big was talking about Dump Money and Margin Call. Those are two good movies. I'm gonna check them out today. Today's an holiday, so I'll be relaxing and trying to catch on that one.
Absolutely. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this has been an exciting one. Maybe if we find some models and send them to the mall with a banner and a desk to just sit there.
A boot,
Okay,
a pop-up boot.
exactly. Maybe more people will stop to listen about Bitcoin. What do you guys think? This will be the definition of using tits to sell Bitcoin. I don't think Satoshi will be against that.
No, actually, there's a brand on Twitter that I've seen. It's a panties for Bitcoin. It's a brand people buy them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, panties for Bitcoin. So I was like, yeah, well, if that exists,
Hmm.
no, the most attractive one out there is the boobs. So you might as well
That's
try that.
yeah. That's way over there. That's above the board for me. Bitcoin. Okay, cool. Listen, tick all beaches. Interesting, ladies and gentlemen. This has been exciting. Do you have anything you want to add, Double O, before we wrap this one up here?
No, I really don't think that the topic is quite interesting. We did that for a reason. We got out there and we tried to orange peel people or to educate people about money and what's going on with their money.
Right.
And we learned a lot from the process. But what we also learned about is maybe Bitcoin could actually have a new strategy in the marketing campaign, which is not the geeks and the conferences and the Twitter spaces where all of already people that already know Bitcoin hang out.
Mm,
Like, well, let's change the strategy. I'm not telling you to take tits to the schools or to the churches, but let's go to where the people are and try to have that conversation with them. That's just
incredible.
my thought.
Hey, um, before we go, folks, can you give us a title for our next show, and we'll come up with a show for that title. We'll make that happen.
Don't make
I'm
it about tits though.
yeah, I'm feeling adventurous, man. Let's expand our creativity abilities. Okay. We're going to be looking at the comments. Whichever one is the first one. Do you say the first one? We should take whichever one is the
I'm
first.
ready. I'm ready for the
Okay.
challenge.
Well, before we wrap it up, folks, please drop in the comment what you would like the next title to be. And we're going to design a show around that topic. And uh, uh, associate it to Bitcoin because that's what we do.
Rapping. Free flow.
Yeah.
Freestyle. By the way, if you have not checked out BK Crypto, you probably want to do that. Bold, brave, and believe. And some tits. Just kidding.
Jake says, why wait? Why wait for.
Yeah, why wait for Bitcoin?
Why wait for Bitcoin? Exactly.
That's a good topic.
Hey, amazing, man. We'll be counting down. I'm sure the comments will probably come after.
Yeah, it's a delay.
As well.
Yeah.
Right. So leave it in the comment below. We'll definitely check it out. If we don't have it by the time we click end live, end stream here, and we'll just let y'all know. Title: Why wait?
Yes.
Why wait? Why wait? Why wait?
Yeah.
Why wait? Why wait? Why wait? Okay, we got you, Jake. Why wait to be the title? Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for hanging out with us. Listen, like the video, share, subscribe to our channel. Subscribe to the Gentlemen of Crypto as well. We are also on X at StackFin and Spotify as Stack. All right. Until next time, please stay blessed. Buy Bitcoin, drink water, eat your vegetables, and
Too soft, fleshy milk in secret England.
yes, as they would say. Peace out, everyone.